In the sweltering summer of 1819, over 60,000 working men, women, and children gathered peacefully in St. Peter's Field, Manchester, England. They came not for war but for reform, for the right to vote in a nation ruled by the elite few. This was the Peterloo Massacre, a dark chapter in British history where cavalry swords met unarmed civilians. It exposed the raw underbelly of industrial Britain, poverty, repression, and a government terrified of the people's voice. Today, we uncover the events that sparked a fight for democracy, costing 15 lives and wounding hundreds. Peterloo wasn't just a tragedy. It was a turning point that echoed through the centuries. Britain in 1819 was a powder keg. The Napoleonic Wars had just ended in 1815, leaving soldiers jobless and the economy in ruins. Corn laws kept food prices sky high, benefiting landowners while workers starved. In the north, the Industrial Revolution churned out cotton in Manchester's mills. But wages plummeted, and conditions were hellish, children toiling 16 hours a day for scraps. Reformers demanded change. The vote was denied to most. Only wealthy men over 40 could elect parliament, ignoring the booming industrial cities. Radical speakers like Henry Orator Hunt toured the country, calling for universal male suffrage, annual parliaments, and an end to rotten boroughs, those empty districts controlled by aristocrats. Mass meetings spread like wildfire. In January 1819, 10,000 gathered in Manchester. By summer, petitions flooded London, but the government dismissed them. Fears of revolution, inspired by France and America, gripped the elite. Local magistrates, mostly mill owners, saw unions and reformers as threats to their power. Peterloo was born from this desperation, a huge open-air rally to petition for reform, organized by the Manchester Patriotic Union. No arms, no violence, just banners and speeches. August 16 dawned clear and hot. From dawn, people streamed into Manchester from miles, around 60,000 by noon. One of the largest gatherings Britain had seen. Families picnicked on the edges of St. Peter's Field, an open space by the church. Women wore white sashes symbolizing purity. Banners read liberty or death, and no corn laws. It was a festival of hope, not fury. Henry Hunt arrived to roaring cheers, flanked by radicals like Samuel Bamford, a weaver. Hunt, a silver-tongued Londoner, promised to present their petition to Parliament. The crowd was orderly, no alcohol, no weapons. Magistrates watched from a nearby house, panicking at the size. They feared a mob, though reports from spies confirmed the peace. Yeomanry, cavalry, local volunteers, often magistrates' sons and mill owners, patrolled the edges. Special constables swelled their ranks. As Hunt began speaking at 1 p.m., calling for reform without inciting riot, the authorities dithered. Then, in a fateful blunder, they read the Riot Act, demanding dispersal. The crowd, packed tight, couldn't move. Chaos loomed. At 1:50 p.m., the order came: cavalry charge. The Manchester and Salford yeomanry, drunk on authority, surged into the crowd with drawn sabers. Hunt was arrested mid-speech, but the real horror was the crush. Horses trampled banners, swords hacked at outstretched hands. A woman with a baby was cut down. Children screamed under hooves. Panic spread like fire. Barricades of chairs and bodies formed as people fled to narrow streets. The regular 15th Hussars joined, turning rescue into rout. It lasted 10 minutes, but the field was a slaughterhouse. Eyewitnesses described bloodied shawls, severed limbs, and moans echoing into the night. Official tallies: 15 dead, including 2 women and a child, over 600 injured, many maimed for life. Unofficial counts were higher. The crowd hadn't fought back, they scattered in terror. Magistrates like William Hulton justified it as preventing revolution, but it was panic and class hatred unleashed. News raced across Britain, shocking the nation. The backlash was swift and furious. Peterloo, a bitter pun on Waterloo, spread in radical pamphlets. The government censored the press via the 6 Acts, banning large meetings and hiking stamp duties on newspapers. Hunt and organizers faced trials, but public outrage grew. Songs and cartoons immortalized the dead, turning victims into martyrs. Long-term, Peterloo fueled the fight for reform. It inspired the Chartists in the 1830s and pressured the 1832 Reform Act, expanding the vote to middle-class men. Women, denied even that, drew from the white-sashed marchers for their own struggles. Peterloo became a feminist touchstone too. By 1918, universal suffrage echoed its demands. Yet the elite learned to co-opt rather than crush. Peterloo showed the perils of blind repression, but also how tragedy births change. In Manchester today, a memorial stands, a reminder that power fears the People's Assembly. Peterloo was no anomaly, it's the story of ordinary people demanding their due against entrenched power. 15 graves, but a legacy that reshaped democracy. In an age of inequality, it asks, what rallies will define our future? The crowd at St. Peter's Field teaches us that voices, united, endure. Thanks for watching. Share to keep history alive.